Bo Dealey, and welcome to Something Edible.
My grandmother, bless her, she made banana bread all the time, and it was fine. But you know, when you're dealing with these big bricks of banana bread, it seems like you always either get something that's too done on the outside, or you get something that's just almost raw on the inside. It's really all a matter of surface area, and when you look at it that way, the best thing you can do to lick that problem is to make your breads smaller. And really, when we're talking about quick breads like banana breads, we're also talking about muffins. So as much as I love my grandmother's banana bread recipe, I had to shrink it down. And so now I make banana muffins. And because I like chocolate, I throw a little chocolate in there and along with the walnuts, and it's pretty good. So why don't I show you how I make my grandmother's banana bread here in muffin form. Well, it always helps to have your stuff set out ahead of time. And since we're using chocolate in this, I like to really do the good chocolate. So this is some 70% dark chocolate. And it just, you know, the banana is really sweet, and it makes for a nicer balance in the finished product when you use a darker chocolate here. And it just so happens that a 3.5 ounce bar is exactly what you need. So all you got to do is unwrap it and chop it up a little bit. So, you know, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure that it's in big enough chunks that it's there. You know, you want to make sure that those chunks are big enough that you see them there and you taste them. So, you know, they don't have to be exact. Just run a knife through there and chop your chocolate. All right, we're doing a muffin method here because we're making muffins. So we got to start by creaming stuff. We're going to add 6 tablespoons of real butter. I've never made these with margarine, so I don't know how that works. So just use real butter. And then we're also going to add 3/4 of a cup of just plain old sugar to that. And now we're going to cream those things together. Okay, so I'm going to need 1, 2, 3 minutes to cream this on medium speed. There we go. To our creamed butter and sugar, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I think it's always, vanilla goes in better if you put it in early, I think. And then we're going to add 2 eggs to this as well, but I'm only going to try to add like 1 to begin with. There's 1 right there. So we're going to bring that on to medium speed. And 1-2 minutes. And now that one's integrated pretty well, we can add the second egg. Okay, all right. So now we've really creamed together the butter, the eggs, the sugar. Most of it, except the stuff here that I didn't scrape down, is actually pretty smooth, which is exactly what you want. So now we're going to add the rest of the wet ingredients, which is 3 really ripe bananas. I actually find it works better if I keep mine in the freezer and then let them thaw. They mix up better. You're not left with big chunks of undone banana in there. It's just, you get a nice even banana flavor and a good muffin texture out of the bananas. So to those 3, we'll add 3 bananas. We'll add the last of the wet ingredients, which is a 1/2 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can use plain old milk. I think Grandma even used water every once in a while. So with that all in there, I'm going to crank this back up to stir and mix it together. And now, after we get it all mixed, I'm going to start to spoon in the dry ingredients as we go. Stir here. You don't want to go on medium here, you make a mess. So let's let that mix together, and then once it's ready to go, we'll add the dry ingredients. So this is about as integrated as we're going to get, and it looks like a sloppy mess right now, but that's okay. We're going to start adding our dry ingredients, which a teaspoon of salt, a A little bit of cardamom here, half teaspoon I believe. If you don't have cardamom, use cinnamon and nutmeg, whatever you got. Then we're also going to add a half teaspoon of baking soda here. And now with all that in, we can start to spoon in the flour. It's just easier to do it this way than to try to dump it all in at once. You don't make a mess and everything gets mixed like it's supposed to. And to finish, we're spooning in 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And if you need to scrape the bowl when you're done to knock all that stuff off the edge, go ahead and stop what you're doing and do that. Okay. I think once we knock this down, it'll just about be done. These are muffins, so you don't want to overmix. You just want everything brought together. Okay, now that I've knocked off the crud off the inside of my bowl, I'm ready to give this one last stir and add a half cup of chopped walnuts, or don't if you don't like walnuts, or you could use pecans, it doesn't matter. And lastly, I'm going to add the bar of chopped chocolate. You could use semi-sweet chocolate chips here, but really go for the dark stuff, it tastes better. So we're just going to give that a quick stir, we don't need to stir it much. Good and good. We're ready to put these in the cups. All right, we've got everything ready to spoon out here. And you're going to want about a 1/4 cup in each one of these. And if memory serves, that's going to give you about 12 muffins. And if you take a rounded scoop, ice cream scoop, that's going to give you about a 1/4 cup. Now the thing about making banana muffins is no 2 bananas are the same. So sometimes you're going to get a smaller one, sometimes you're going to get a larger one. If your batter isn't about this consistency, then you might need to add a little more buttermilk if it's too thick. Or if it's too runny, add just a little bit more flour, but don't overmix. Most of the time, pick the bananas that are about medium size for this, and you can't go wrong. All right, these are ready for the oven. All right, 12 greased muffin cups full of banana muffin batter into the oven at 350, and you're going to want about 35 to 45 minutes. Oven times may vary. When they look brown and they look done, pull them. And for muffins, I wouldn't go over 45 minutes at all. All right, what do we got? 35 minutes. I need to check these though. We'll grab one of the big ones here. Oh yeah, that came out clean. We don't want to go another 10 minutes, so you'll have burnt muffins here. All right. Just the right amount of golden brown on those. But you can't eat these yet. They're actually still cooking. So we'll want to let these sit for at least 5 minutes to finish cooking on the inside to make sure that we can depan these properly. So in 5 minutes, we'll be eating banana muffins. All right, here we are, 5 minutes, and these are done cooking, and they release wonderfully from this pan. And you can use muffin cups if you want to, but I'm not going to use muffin cups this time. I can't wait any longer. I'm just going to try one. I'm going to risk burning my mouth here and try one out. Oh yeah, perfectly done on the inside. Let's just see how these are. Still warm. They're definitely banana muffins, but you get that nutty crunch from the walnuts, and the chocolate, because it's not too sweet, just pairs really nicely with that sweet banana. And at the same time, You got that cardamom in there. If you've never done cardamom in baked goods, perfect with bananas. Give that a go. And if you don't have cardamom, like I said, you can go with nutmeg or cinnamon or a little bit of both. I think Grandma would be proud. These turned out great. So if you want to give my grandmother's banana bread recipe a go in convenient muffin form, you can get the recipe over at the Hayes Daily News. And if you want all the gory details about this recipe, then you can look it up on my site, somethingedible.com. And if you need any help, questions, I got answers over on Facebook and Twitter, and I've even been known to pin every once in a while on Pinterest too. So get to baking these muffins. These are great. Your family will dig them. I do. They're good.